Hi, we've just wrapped up the second Oceanics online tournament qualifier for the finals, and we have two of our team, and here's Zack taking out second place with set 2 chilled.
No, Vegeks.
He had me going.
Because it's broken and degenerate. So that's the scumbag I am. So if you don't know what the leader does, frontside best 5, draw 1, and then you shenanigans go off and drop. Then the other side is exactly the same, except you draw first, and then mill 5, and then you give your unison double strike, which is nice. Make sure you declare it because there are sharks out there. Like me, I will shark you. And then for some reason, when you deck out, you just get to shuffle your stuff in, so rip Janemba. So
yeah,
play a pretty standard lineup for Vegeks. For the unison, what he does is pitch 1 card, +2, gets Sim to 15k. And then if you neg 4 of him, he gets dual attack and plus 20k, so it'll be 25. The cool thing about him, when Vegeks or any card that sends it from deck to drop, puts him there, he gets to play himself with 1 marker, so that's really good.
Good stuff. Did you find yourself being able to get the neg 4 off any games?
I got it off once, and both of their attacks were negated, so today. Other than that, it's really a fake deadly defender. Your opponent stresses out too much about the counters on it.
Yeah.
Once it's got 4 counters, unless they go wide, which they really shouldn't focus on this, they should just swing at my leader. But yeah, it's just good. Some people play around it, some people play into it, some people just
ignore it.
Exactly. And then the other ones, all of these guys play 4 of each because that's what you do. All these guys, when they hit the drop, they play themselves. These two have unique. And this guy leaves the field. He goes to warp instead. He's also got a cool thing that a lot of people don't pay attention to. The activate battle. You tap 2 to warp a card that's 3 or less. That's really good because a lot of people forget they swing, they combo up, and then you just go, nah, tap 2, gone. It's really good defensively, better than what people think. This guy is a blocker, and then when he's played, you can take a life if you want to. Other than that, doesn't do much. He's just Vegeks fuel and blocker. And then the Kai, which is one of the better... Well, I know. Out of these two, I think this is my favorite, but this is my second favorite. She just gives you plus 10k combo, which you have 5 less cards in your hand when you combo with her. And she doesn't have unique, which means you can just play 4. So if you mill 4 for some ungodly reason, you get to play all of them. The other thing is to watch out for God Sealing. If you play this, if you hit your drop and you go to play it, counter window 1, they have to play God Sealing then, and if they don't, you play this, and it doesn't actually bounce back. God Sealing does nothing, and they wasted all their counterplays for the turn.
Yeah, because counterplay 2 was after the card's already been played, so that makes sense.
I think someone did that to me today, and they just went, oh. Oh no, last week they did that. They went, oh fuck. Play the Overrealms. 4 of this, 2 of this. Yeah, I'd play 4 of this, unless you're playing the skillless variant, which I'm not. And this is just if you don't see this. If you see this and this, usually, very rarely will you play this over this. Sometimes there is, like sometimes you might draw 2 of this and 2 chomper, and then you just go greedy and you just swing 2 turns in a row for a double strike crit.
Yeah. I mean, two double strike crits in 2 turns is pretty rough to deal with.
The other thing I see a lot of new Vegeks players do, they play this guy on turn 1, and get out the other guy to get out this guy, which we play 3 of, to mill straight away, which is a waste. What you should, depending on your situation, but most of the time if I'm going first, I will send it a stuff to drop, warp it, play this on the second turn. First turn, I will send a drop, and just leave it, wait to next turn so I can attack with it. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting it. Unless you really have to. There's some occasions that you do. It doesn't come up too often. This guy paired up with this guy really just makes the deck just really fun.
Yep, so just an auto win as soon as you get your opponent down to 1 life.
Yeah, pretty much. If you got 3 life and they got 1, and you have this out, you pretty much win. I think there's only 1 card that can stop it on attacker. I think that's the release ball, that yellow one. Other than that, I think there's no really counters unless you just stop it being played or destroy it before it can swing.
Yeah.
which Tom found out very harshly on Friday night.
Yep.
But this guy, when he's played off the Overrealm, he comes in the rest. But he's got barrier, and he's got 20k attack, so he's going to more than likely stay in the field unless your opponent really wants to get rid of it. You tap one and you play this from drop. This guy warps card straight away, so it's not just for burn damage. It actually is good removal. Sparking 7, you swing, you warp 2 of your life, warp 1 of your opponents. You can do it for pressure early game, or you can just do it late game to win. I just play three each of the Vegeks. I actually didn't get to play them today at all, just because nothing lined up for me, which sucks, but what can you do? This guy, when he's played, you get to add a 4 or less from your warp back to your hand, so you usually add Bibbidi because it's broken, or something else, like you just add more combo power usually. This guy has Xeno Evolve, so after this guy's swung, you just play this on top, and it goes in active mode. This guy goes to warp, and when this guy swings, you get to warp one of your opponent's cards. So it's got no energy restriction either. So yeah, for 3 energy to get these both down in a turn, 2 double strikers as well, it's a lot of pressure.
Yep.
Throw a Bibbidi on top, you're usually going to get the damage through. And the most broken thing in the world, they did not deserve an errata, because all of you guys are whingers. and needed to be errata, it was broken.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you guys know what that does. I don't need to go into that. Then we play through this guy. It's just good. You play him out. If you need to take life to awaken or just stop your opponent from playing free things, it's good. Most of the time today, it soaked up something else from getting destroyed from a card, because they want to get rid of this first. So yeah, it's not bad. 3 Chomper just to apply pressure and win games.
Yep, and to not get rule sharked on not declaring double
Yeah,
strike.
for anyone who bitches about people sharking you in locals, yeah, okay, fair enough. You're just playing for fun, but at high events or any competitive level, if you're not gonna declare it, don't play it. Just play Chomper. I forget all the time, so that's why I play the Chomper. Don't bitch about getting sharked.
And to quickly explain the difference, the Kai double striker says you may choose the card or gives you an option not to choose it. Champa just straight up forces you to give the card double strike.
Yeah, I don't know why people think card. Yeah, it's occasionally might want to only do 1 damage, but rarely will that ever happen, but whatever. One of this guy didn't play it at all today. He was always in drop, and yeah, I just had him just in case I went to turn 5, which none of my games did. The difference that I played today, a lot of people play the 1-drop extra card that mills 4 and warps one of your opponent's cards from drop. I played this guy instead because I was tending to find my biggest problem was that when something went to drop, it was wasted, and also the other card makes you pay an energy, and I was really annoyed. I could either keep negates in my hand and use those, or mill more cards. This way it gives me both. Yes, I'm milling 2 less cards, technically, because this guy also counts a card and drop. But this guy has recursion where you can tap 3, play him, and recycle stuff from your drop back to the bottom of your deck. So in that fact, it depends what you like. I really like this. I don't like stuff going to waste in my drop. Other cards that don't get wasted and drop are these 4. This guy just grab something back 7 or less, and this guy stops your opponent from playing stuff during your turn unless they want to warp 2 cards from their hand, which is really good. People call for ban, I call shut up. The biggest difference in other Vegeks, a lot of people play the Boo that you warp it, discard 1 and draw 2 at the end of the turn. I played 4 of that instead, and 4 of this. My biggest concern today was the Reboot Gohan. I played against it twice. In the first game that I played, I won because he just didn't have enough combo power. And the second game, I had opened up one of these and a Bibbidi, and also just drew into another 2, another one of these, and it's just good. And if this goes to drop, you're like, okay, cool, tap 1 to draw 1. So it's not a waste. Like the Boo, yeah, it's great, but I guess you can't use it aggressively. You have to use it defensively. This lets you be aggressive and defensive depending on what your stand is. And if it's not good in your hand, you can always pitch it off your unison. So yeah, it just helps a lot. This guy will just go back your Kai or one of your other 1-drops from warp or drop, so it just gives you more combo power and it just helps stop. So I played against Benny today, and I versed him on Friday night in the free event, and he got the better of me. But in that comp, Bibbidi was nerfed, and it was a 5k difference in the game. So, in this time I played him today, and I got the better of him because I had 3 negates.
A rivalry has started.
Yes, I'm coming for you, buddy. And that's the deck. Got second. We lost against Agents of Destruction. He, from what I saw, he played a heavy blue thing and just had a lot of negates. I just couldn't get through him. Probably could have had better mills at games, but that's what happens when you play an RNG deck. You sometimes don't get the mills. First game I played against a Vegeks skillless, which had me scared at first, but then after about turn 2, I got control of the game and won. Game 2, I played against the Red Baby Vegeta. He killed himself just by taking so much life. He kept trying to dig for a heartfelt plea, which wasn't going to happen because I had negates in hand, and also I wouldn't let myself go down below 4. Next game I played against Vegito, like set 2 Vegito.
Old school Vegeta.
Unfortunately, I stomped it, which sucks because it was a friend. So, but that's what happens. Next game. Shit, what was the next game? I think that was the first Gohan I played. Yeah, it was the first Gohan one I played, and basically he got me down to 1 life, and I was able to stop his last attack, combo his last attack. So he won because he had to forfeit because Gohan. Then the next game was against Benny with his Gohan, and yeah, I just had the negates and won, and then obviously I lost against Agent of Destruction. So yeah, it was a fun day, tiring.
Good stuff.
And so I get to go home now because my deck profile's done. Bye. Oh, and shout out to No Josh because he's awesome. He sponsors us, gets us gear, and got me this mat.
It's a nice map.
Yes. NWP.